You might think that Vladimir Putin's life is full of excitement, and that includes riding tanks and horses every day. But that is not entirely true. Although the Russian president always causes controversy with his carefully planned political decisions, his personal life is very simple. In this episode, you will know how Vladimir Putin spends his day. So watch the video till the end. As usual, before we start, go down and press the lock button, enlarge the screen, and let us go together. Despite the sensitive position that Vladimir Putin occupies, he does not wake up early. He gets up late in the day and eats his breakfast at noon. Breakfast includes porridge, quail eggs, fruit juice, in addition to cottage cheese, which is always on the president's breakfast table. Also, the meals that Putin eats are always fresh, so all ingredients are brought from local farms, and mostly from the farms he owns. Patriarch Kirill, head of the Russian Orthodox Church. Also, taking care of the president's food is one of the most important and difficult tasks that the service performs, especially since Vladimir Putin travels a lot, and therefore chefs must always travel with him to make sure that he prepares his favorite food, as well as to ensure that he does not get named. This does not mean that the Russian president does not eat the food served to him in other countries. It's just that two cooks have to make sure that the food is also suitable for the president. Another interesting fact is that the Russian president does not drink milk, perhaps because he does not like it or for some other unknown reason. Once breakfast is over, Vladimir Putin enjoys a cup of coffee, and then it's time to work out. Aerobics does not include riding a tank. The exercises begin with swimming, as the Russian president spends about 2 hours in the pool. And swimming is only part of his training. Putin tries as much as possible to maintain his physical fitness, so he practices weightlifting and some martial arts as well. Putin also practices other sports such as ice hockey, hunting, and fishing. In addition, he sometimes publishes pictures of his unique adventures, such as riding a bear or a horse in the wilderness, to let his people know that their chief is strong. Regardless of what some people think, it is undeniable that the Russian president is physically better than the rest of the world's leaders. Putin often appears in his formal attire, which includes a suit and tie. Russia Beyond has indicated that it prefers clothing made by Keaton and Bryan. Putin also avoids wearing a tie in bright or flashy colors, in order to preserve his imposing appearance, and in order to stay healthy. Putin relies a lot on traditional physiotherapy, which includes massages, drinking tea with honey, and sauna sessions. Putin also loves nature, so he spends a lot of his time in his luxurious house in the woods in the afternoons. Putin does not wait for anyone, but everyone around him is waiting for him as soon as he reaches his office in the Kremlin. Work begins. This includes reviewing notes and making new ones, in addition to being informed of various developments in domestic intelligence and foreign affairs. International and local media, and other information available. Putin knows all the new details. He is a man who does not like surprises. It is impressive that Putin himself knows all these details, and he himself determines the news that should reach from the Kremlin to the media as well. He is also keen to read all the articles that talk about him, whether they were written in the local or international press. In addition, Putin is fond of articles written by Andrei Kalashnikov. Putin is keen to read German newspapers, too. Given his previous work in the KGB, Putin speaks fluent German, which makes him able to understand articles without the help of a translator. Putin has also impressed Western media with his command of the English language. Western media has often criticized Western leaders for not mastering a language other than their native language, unlike Vladimir Putin, who speaks fluent English. Putin is not a fan of modern technology and likes to use traditional means such as paper and pen. He also uses an old phone from the Soviet era in his office, but his advisors sometimes show him videos in which Russia or the Russian president is being mocked personally. Putin's agenda is very dense. Most of his activities are planned months in advance, so it is very difficult to make any changes in the agenda. And in some rare cases, things are planned years in advance, not just months in advance. The schedule is usually divided into periods of 15 minutes, including periods for calls and others for meetings and other administrative matters. It is also worth noting that the Russian president does not like meetings, and therefore he tries to assign his assistants to attend meetings on his behalf in case his presence is not necessary. You must be wondering now how Putin gets around without delay. He prefers a busy schedule. The answer is simple. President Putin has a private road that connects his country house to the Kremlin. No one can use that path except the president and his client. Thus, he could reach the Kremlin in just 25 minutes. But if the president wanted to go to the airport, clearing the way for him would be very easy. But it is something Putin always tries to avoid doing in the evening. It is true that Putin gets up late, but he also stays up late to do his work, and during that he enjoys a meal that his personal cooking prepares for him. Putin also loves to eat pistachio-flavored ice cream, which he always offers to presidents who visit Russia. After returning home in the middle of the night, Putin chooses between doing more work at home or getting some rest. If you think that Putin's work is the hardest, that is not true. Those guards and servants around him are the ones who make the most effort to keep the chief comfortable and facilitate his work. The Russian president is known for his dislike of alcoholic beverages, and he only drinks on special diplomatic occasions. It is common among the former presidents of Russia due to the country's suffering from some social issues, on top of which is alcoholism. The Russian president has 2 daughters, but no one knows how close they are to him. The Russian president is also known for his love of dogs and has 3 puppies of the breed, the most prominent of which are a Kid Inoue and Turmeric Chan. On one occasion, a dog named Yumi of the Aki breed broke into a meeting between the Russian president and some Japanese officials. At the time, Putin showed great interest in a dog. As for his married life, Putin is single today, since his separation from his wife in the year 2013, after a marriage that lasted for 30 years. Therefore, the Russian president is completely dedicated to taking care of his country's affairs. At the end of the day, the president goes to bed by 3 o'clock in the morning.